right now, today, it is very difficult in these rural communities and has been for a number of years because of low commodity prices, but lack of investment. The hollowing out narrative, the hollowing out of rural America is true. Part of that is related to the farm economy. Part of that is related to lack of investment. So oftentimes when I'm in these convenings and folks are talking about the technology opportunity in agriculture, I agree with that, but the reality is probably 30% of farmers don't have access to broadband. They are taking their children, this is where they are raising their families, they're taking their children to McDonald's to sit in the parking lot to get broadband access so they can do their homework. They don't have access to telemedicine, and there's a shortage of 40,000 doctors in rural communities. 100 hospitals have closed down in rural communities. There is the rural poor. Counties in rural America index at 78% of them index as food insecure. This is where we're growing our food for the world. And so what I want to push on and what I've been pushy about in discussing is that we have a shared future. And oftentimes, and I've lived in New York, Chicago, Washington, Boston, now I'm in Minneapolis, I've lived in LA. I love the cities, but oftentimes people say, oh, when you're young, go to the cities. That's where you make your career. And here we are in this tech area, and isn't that great? Well, you know what? Rural communities need to be vibrant, need to have reinvestment. And that starts with broadband access, technology access, so we can talk all we want about these tools and this opportunity, but none of it can be taken advantage of by these farmers if they do not have an opportunity to reinvest in their families and in their businesses and in their communities. Right now, it is incredibly challenging. Those of you who are in the Midwest, those of you who are on the coast, you may have seen the pictures of the flooding and the issues there, but it is devastating. It is absolutely devastating. Many farmers could not plant. They couldn't get in the field. It was too wet. They're trying to mud it out. They're trying to put something in the ground. And this will add to the stress in these communities where they have not had investment and where folks are leaving. The stores shut down. There's no grocery store. There's no fresh food. And these communities are the communities growing the food for the population. 19% of the population are in rural communities, and I always remind people they comprise 44% of the military. They stand up for us, they do the hard work, they're continuing to do the hard work. Do you know what the average farm income was last year? And what the average estimated farm income is this year? The average is $44,000, the median is minus $1,500. They're living on loans, and it is going to be devastating. This weather, this issue this year will be devastating on top of a situation that has already been devastating.